Central Valley Business. I'm your host, Steve Walling. My guest for this segment is Chukou Thao. He's with the National Hmong American Farmers Association. Chukou, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
American Hmong Hmong American Farmers Association.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, very, very closely associated with a specific group of people.
Yeah.
Let's go back and talk about the history of the Hmong, and let's talk about it particularly in this area here where farming is so prominent.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you all may remember the Vietnam War.
Right?
So the Hmong people helped the United States during the Vietnam War.
Yes, they did.
They were allies. We helped before we knew what this country was all about.
Right.
And then after the war, the persecution started.
Right.
So we were granted an opportunity to come here to the United States. Came through the refugee camps, but we had to get to Thailand.
Right.
That's where safety was at.
You had to escape from Vietnam.
From Laos.
The Laos.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Cross the Mekong River.
Yeah. Get to
Thailand.
Thailand.
Mm-hmm.
From there, where did you go?
So from Thailand, that's where the refugee camp was.
Right.
Yeah, that's where they put the families together, paperwork and everything, to bring them here to the United States.
They came here.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't all come to one place. You were spread.
No.
As a national people, you were spread all over the United States.
We were spread because of the churches. So a lot of the churches got involved, and wherever they could sponsor,
right.
That's where the people went. So Washington State, Oregon, California was actually one of the least states. Minnesota, Wisconsin, the Carolinas, Massachusetts. Those were the big ones. And so when my family first came to the United States in Madison, Wisconsin, we were just trying to see another Asian face.
Right.
So just happy to see another Asian face because it was like time traveling.
Right. A lot of culture shock.
A lot of culture shock. Right. Just the language itself was a challenge. My dad came in, started working as a janitor. Mm-hmm. My mom was a maid at one of the hotels.
Your dad, what was his training before he came here?
My dad was what do you call those, Steve? The guys that send the messages.
Morse code operator?
Yeah, Morse code.
Okay.
My dad was a sergeant in the military.
Okay, so he was a military man.
Yeah.
And he came here and he had to start out as a janitor.
Yeah, he came here, and it's harder for the men.
Yeah.
It's hard for the men because they were proud soldiers, proud husbands, fathers.
That's right.
They could speak the language, they understood the culture, and then they came here, and it was like,
yeah.
The moms were a little easier because they just kind of blended in and things.
Always a place for moms.
Yeah.
But it was like instantaneous culture integration because there were no options. You came here and it was you had to survive, you had to thrive.
Yeah.
And the Hmong community has survived and thrived quite well.
Well, they say that the Hmong people are God's youngest child.
Okay.
Which means they're allowed to go anywhere and just blend in, right?
Well, there you go.
So, with that behind us, and also the fact that the culture itself is not very confrontational.
Right.
We don't approve of that. We don't support the kind of thing. Let's just work things out in a way. So that allowed us to be able to adapt to this country.
Right.
The cultures, the traditions, the schools. Yeah.
Okay, so you were in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
But you're a farmer here in California. How did we get here, Chukou?
You would not believe, but it's the weather. So traditionally, it's tropical weather in Laos.
Right.
Almost 365 days of the year, except for the monsoon season.
Mm-hmm.
And when Hmong people first, General Vang Pao, when they first landed in Fresno, it was because of agriculture.
Right.
A box of cherry tomato at the time was between $30 to $50. So there was a great need for agriculture.
Right.
And because of the lack of language skills, the lack of job skills, everybody flocked to the opportunity to farm.
Okay.
So you can farm 1 acre of cherry tomato,
right,
and make 30, 40,000.
Really?
Yeah. Back in the day.
Back in the day.
Yeah. And so with the opportunity to farm and the community kind of thing, centralized.
And the Hmong culture was kind of an agrarian, a farming culture to begin with anyway.
Yep.
So it was a good fit.
Yeah. And I sit on 2 advisory committees for the Ag Secretary. It's like I tell them, we should be teaching USDA how to farm.
There you go.
because what they can do with what little they have.
Right.
I mean, it's very good.
Very good. Okay. So, all right, you came here and you started farming. Now, you have your own farm?
I just run the nonprofit.
Okay, you just run the nonprofit.
Yeah.
How did the nonprofit get started? How did that evolve?
Back in the 80s, when the Hmong people started farming, there's just so many rules and regulations. The companies were, going back and forth between what they wanted and what they didn't want. Farmers were taking boxes of hundreds of boxes of a product in, and then having to pay back the company for their box, right? So obviously, something's going on. And growing up in that culture was seeing your parents, your elders, your countrymen just kind of hit a wall every time.
Right.
So I spent 12 years working for the city of Fresno.
Okay.
So I got to see the other side.
Yeah, all right.
And then the opportunity came to work at this nonprofit, and I think it was a good fit. Right place, right time. And right now, when we first started out, the USDA did not know who the Hmong people were.
Right.
Now the word Hmong is written into the proposals, into the RFAs, into announcements.
Okay.
Because the Hmong community is the fastest growing community of farmers. Okay. So while it's in Fresno or North Carolina, Washington State, if there's Hmong people,
I was going to ask, where is the large Hmong farming communities? Where are they located?
It's still Fresno.
Still Fresno. We're the largest here.
Yeah, we're the largest. And even when you look at the state,
right?
Fresno, Merced, Stockton, all the way, right?
Yeah, it's here in the Central Valley area.
Central Valley.
Okay. So, how long has the nonprofit been established now?
I thought I was not that old. So I did calculation. So we've been around for almost 20 years.
But almost 20 years.
Yep.
Okay. And you've made a lot of changes and been responsible for a lot of changes.
Yeah, we've made a lot of changes. We were lucky that we had a place at the table. The opportunity to work with a lot of these, a lot of mentors, a lot of elders, a lot of seniors who have been there. So we've been part of 3 farm bills.
Okay.
So the viewers at home may not know, the farm bill is like the law of the land for agriculture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It pretty much lays it out.
Yeah. So we've been part of three farm bills, like the high tunnel program, which is the greenhouse.
Okay.
Is what we wrote into the farm bill.
Okay.
And socially disadvantaged farmers and ranchers, that's a program that we worked very hard on.
Very good.
To make sure that there's
so you got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, the people don't know.
That's why you're here. So tell us about it. Yeah. Okay. So you got the farm bills, and as an organization to the Hmong community, do you provide services for them? What kind of services do you provide?
We it's no cost to anybody.
Okay.
Not just the Hmong, but anybody that wants.
Anybody that wants to. Okay.
We use the name of the Hmong because we want to specialize, and to sit here and say that we know the challenges and success of our people first. Okay, and we're not going to just talk about everybody under. And then with that, it kind of feeds into this national network of other minority groups, other small farmers.
Right.
Okay? So
you really do represent the small farmer generally in the farming community.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Because you can't help one without forgetting the other.
Yeah.
And you talked about services. All services are free. And we can take the farm from A to Z, put a farm plan together for them, so they know what type of soil they have, what irrigation they need, where their help can come from, whether it's irrigation, whether it's UC co-op extension. And I would love if they just let me hold their hand. But farming has been like the alphabet, A, W, Z.
Yeah.
They get to Z, they think they know it all. No, they don't, because the law's always changing, the rules always right. So
things change, weather changes, water availability changes, it all changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, good deal. Listen, how do we get a hold of you if we wanted to get a hold of you? You got a webpage?
Yeah, www.nhaf.org. That's the webpage. My phone number, 559-313-3339. So
559-313-3939?
3339.
3339.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good deal. Listen, Chukou, we're going to
it.
have you back. We're going to talk more about this.
Thank you.
It's good stuff and a lot of information to be gotten out.
And we, represent the Valley in so many ways. So.
Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you. Okay.
This is exciting stuff. We'll see you.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you when we get back.